A federal prosecutor leaves his office at midnight. Hours later, he's found face down in a Pennsylvania creek, stabbed 36 times with his own knife. Was it murder or the most bizarre suicide in modern history? This is the case that's baffled investigators for over 2 decades. December 3, 2003, Baltimore, Maryland. Jonathan Luna, a 38-year-old assistant U.S. attorney, was working late on a federal case. He was known as a dedicated prosecutor, smart, ambitious, and by all accounts, successful. But at 11:38 p.m., he left the courthouse alone. By dawn, he would be dead under circumstances so strange they'd divide law enforcement for years. Luna's movements that night were tracked through tolls and ATM records. At 11:38 p.m., he drove northeast on Interstate 95, using his E-ZPass to enter Delaware. But then something changed. After 3 tolls, he stopped using E-ZPass and switched to buying paper tickets, as if he didn't want to be tracked electronically. At 12:57 a.m., $200 was withdrawn from his bank account at an ATM near Newark, Delaware. Nearly 2 hours later, at 4:27 a.m., he crossed into Pennsylvania. At 3:20 a.m., his debit card was used to buy gas at a service plaza near King of Prussia. Then, at 4:04 a.m., Luna's car exited the Pennsylvania Turnpike at the Reading-Lancaster interchange. Here's where things get even stranger. The toll ticket he handed over had a spot of his blood on it. Jonathan Luna was already bleeding. By 5:30 a.m., Luna's car was spotted in rural Lancaster County, partially submerged in a creek behind a well drilling company. The headlights were off. Blood was smeared across the driver's door. When authorities pulled the vehicle from the water, they found Jonathan Luna face down beneath the engine, still wearing his suit and overcoat, his court ID hanging around his neck. He had been stabbed 36 times with his own pocket knife, wounds to his chest, neck, and head. But the cause of death wasn't the stab wounds, it was drowning. Inside the car, investigators found a pool of blood on the floor of the back seat. Yet somehow Luna had driven himself, or been driven, to this remote location, miles from anywhere he had reason to be. The FBI investigated Luna's death and leaned towards suicide. They concluded he was alone from the time he left his office until his body was found. But Lancaster County authorities, including 2 coroners, ruled it a homicide. So why the disagreement? The suicide theory points to so-called hesitation wounds, shallow stabs that suggest someone testing the act. Luna was also facing professional pressure. He was scheduled for a polygraph test over $36,000 that disappeared from a case he prosecuted. Investigators found he had a secret credit card, a dating profile his wife didn't know about, and $25,000 in hidden debt. Some theorized he staged a kidnapping that went too far. But the homicide theory is just as compelling. Luna left his glasses, which he needed to drive, and his cell phone on his desk. He'd promised to fax documents to defense attorneys that night. They never arrived. And that pool of blood in the back seat? It suggests Luna was lying there while someone else drove. Forensic evidence added more questions. A second blood type was found, a partial fingerprint that didn't match Luna's, and grainy footage from the gas station raised doubts about who was actually using his card. More than 20 years later, Jonathan Luna's death remains unsolved. No arrests, no suspects, no clear motive. In 2007, his family hired a private investigator and pushed for a formal inquest, but it was declined. In 2021, a judge ruled that coroner's records related to Luna's case must remain sealed, stating that releasing them would jeopardize the open, active, and ongoing criminal investigation. The case is still open. There's a $100,000 federal reward for information leading to a conviction, but so far, no one has come forward. Was Jonathan Luna a man so desperate he orchestrated his own death in the most violent way imaginable? Or was he the victim of a calculated murder carried out by someone who knew how to cover their tracks? The truth is still out there, buried somewhere between a Maryland courthouse and a Pennsylvania creek. The death of Jonathan Luna is one of the most perplexing mysteries in modern criminal justice. If you have theories or if you know something, leave it in the comments below. And if you want to explore more unsolved cases like this one, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. This is The Dark File. Stay curious, stay questioning, and never stop searching for the truth.